Hello, everybody. What? Oh boy, is that a hairstyle? We're gonna excuse how my hair looks. I took a shower earlier, so my hair is just kind of doing its own thing. But I thought today that I would upload my pregnancy story, which hopefully is interesting, maybe not. But funny thing is that the day that I found out I was pregnant was on Christmas Eve. And how that all started was I had felt dizzy the day before, and I just shoot it off as it being nothing and decided to just go ahead and lay down and sleep it off. And I felt good in the morning, and it was my first day at work at a new job. Keep that in mind when I tell you what comes up next. And I got there, and of course, they're training me, but I already had previous training from the other job, which was basically I don't know the word for it. It's not the same industry, but it's basically just the same job. It's still being a prep person for the exact same. I really wish I knew the word for it. Um, they're two different companies, but uh I don't know how to put it. Well, I work at McDonald's, so let's just say I'm the prep person for McDonald's, but the one I worked for was in another city, and the new job I started was in another city, so it was two completely different companies, but obviously, since I worked at the other store, I already had training there, so they didn't have to train me that much, but she was basically showing me the way of they're doing things, and all of a sudden, I started feeling dizzy again, like the same I had felt the day before. So that's when I started getting worried, because I'm the type I've never get that dizzy ever. So I thought maybe I just need to eat something. So they fixed me something to eat, and I ate that. I was drinking water and everything, but nothing was helping. So I literally had to spend a majority of the day sitting in a chair, which slightly helped, but not that much. And I just remained dizzy throughout the rest of the day. And then when I got off, I went home and tried to sleep it off, but my head was pounding so bad, and I couldn't even sleep because I still felt like my head was spinning as if I was standing up. So I decided to go to urgent care, and they're sitting there. And before I went to urgent care, I was talking to one of my sisters, and she's just like, "Oh, do you think it's because you're pregnant?" I'm like, "No, that's not what it is." So I just brushed it off my shoulders, and then lo and behold, they give me a pregnancy test, and it comes back positive. So of course they're all just like, "Congratulations," and I'm like in a state of shock and not knowing how to feel. I'm just like, "Thank you." And like, it's like I was excited, nervous, just a whole bunch of emotions all rolled into one. As some of y'all can probably understand what I'm trying to say with that. And so immediately when I was on my way home, I decided to go ahead and call my sister and be like, "Well, turns out that you were right. I am pregnant." And she was more excited than I was. She's all sitting here bouncing off the walls like, "Yes, I knew it." And she's just like, "Oh my goodness, you're gonna have a mini you. I'm so excited." She's like, "I mean, how do you feel about it though?" I'm just like, well, nervous, but yes, we'll weather the storm. So at the time that I found this out, I was living with someone who I'm not gonna name due to how all the falling out went between me and that person, but he was not happy when he found out and said that basically he wouldn't have taken me in if he would have known, so, which is messed up because I didn't even know when I came there, obviously, so, but you know how people be sometimes. And so I ended up moving out shortly after that and was living on my own for a little while until my friends decided to take me in, and I saved up what money I could to for when the baby arrives, because I was debating, like, in the early stages, like, the people that I told, mostly the family, was just telling me to basically get an abortion, that no woman should have a child without having a man by her side, and all this craziness. And I decided that ultimately that I wanted to keep my child because I did have a job. I was able to still save money and I was still able to keep food in my mouth, so I thought, why not? So that decision did not sit too well with them, and that's when all the hate and degrading comments came my way, which was so hard not to say anything back to them, but I was able to bite my tongue, and most of my support came from my friends and friends that I consider family, so that is what ultimately gave me confidence that I could actually raise a child and everything, so that was a huge confidence booster. And that is basically my pregnancy story, rolled the shortest way possible. I know it's only 8-minute video, so I'm hoping I didn't leave anything out. If y'all have any particular questions, y'all can leave them in the comments and I'll be sure to answer them. And then in my next video, it'll explain the labor/delivery and all that fun stuff. Now that one should be more interesting than this one. But until then, later y'all.